This man did everything society told him to do. He showed up early. He stayed late. He followed rules that were never written but always expected to be obeyed. For over 30 years, Yoo Man-su devoted his life to the same company, not because he was passionate about paper manufacturing, but because he believed loyalty meant security. He believed that if you stayed consistent, obedient, and reliable, the system would protect you in return. Man-su lives a quiet life built on routine. Every morning looks the same train, the same office hallway, the same desk that has barely changed in decades. His co-workers see him as dependable but invisible. He is not ambitious, not outspoken, and not difficult. He exists exactly where the company needs him to exist. At home, he is a provider, a man who believes responsibility is love. He does not complain. He does not question authority. He simply endures, trusting that endurance itself is valuable. But while Man-su remains loyal to routine, the world quietly moves on without him. Management begins speaking in numbers instead of names. Efficiency replaces experience. Youth becomes cheaper than loyalty. The company restructures, trims costs, and replaces people without announcing it publicly. Man-su never notices the signs because people like him are taught not to look for them. One morning, he is called into a meeting. The room is small. The tone is polite. The words are rehearsed. His position has been eliminated. They thank him for his service, slide documents across the table, and explain that this decision has nothing to do with his performance. They emphasize how difficult this was for them, even though none of them look uncomfortable. There is no anger in Man-su's face, only confusion. After decades of loyalty, he is not fired for failure. He is erased for efficiency. He leaves the building holding a cardboard box with a few personal items. The same building he once believed would protect him. The same system he trusted without hesitation. This is not just unemployment. This is identity collapse. Man-su suddenly realizes that everything he believed gave his life meaning has vanished in a single conversation. His job was not just a paycheck. It was proof that he mattered. Now he is nobody. He begins searching for work immediately, confident that his experience will speak for itself. But the job market has changed. Employers smile politely, skim his resume, and ask his age before offering vague promises. They say he is overqualified. They say they will contact him. They never do. Younger candidates are hired for less pay. Experience is no longer an advantage. It is a liability. Each rejection chips away at his confidence. Each unanswered email reminds him that loyalty does not age well. At home, silence begins to replace conversation. His wife tries to remain practical, reminding him that this is temporary, that something will come up. But bills do not pause for reassurance. Savings slowly disappear. Expenses pile up without emotion. Man-su withdraws, not because he wants to, but because shame is heavy. Friends stop calling. Social gatherings become uncomfortable. People do not know how to interact with a man who has fallen from stability. Society respects success. It avoids failure. As weeks turn into months, desperation begins to grow quietly inside him. He notices how competitive survival has become. Every opportunity attracts hundreds of applicants. Every interview feels like a battle he is already losing. The world moves quickly and Man-su feels slow. He begins questioning everything he once believed. If loyalty means nothing, if honesty offers no protection, then what exactly is a correct way to survive? This is where the transformation begins. Not suddenly, not violently. Quietly, Man-su starts observing people differently. He notices how others bend rules without apology, how morality seems flexible for those who are winning, how survival favors the bold, not the loyal. He does not want to change, but pressure does not ask permission. The longer he remains unemployed, the smaller his world becomes. His pride erodes, his patience thins, his fear grows louder. Eventually, he understands something deeply unsettling. The system does not care who survives. It only cares that someone does. Jobs are scarce. Opportunities are limited. And for one person to succeed, another must fail. At first, he resists this reality. He tells himself he is not that kind of person, that he will not compromise his values, that he will wait. But waiting has consequences. Hunger does not respect dignity. Fear does not honor morality. Man-su begins justifying decisions he would once have rejected. He convinces himself that survival is not cruelty, but necessity, that he is not harming others, only protecting himself. This is how rationalization works. You do not become someone else overnight. You convince yourself that you have no other choice. The film does not ask the audience to celebrate his decisions. It asks them to understand the pressure that created them. It shows how society praises hard work, but discards people the moment they become inconvenient. Man-su is not treated as a human being. He is treated as a cost. And when people are reduced in numbers, morality becomes negotiable. The tragedy is not that Man-su changes. The tragedy is that no one notices until it is too late. By the time society reacts, it is no longer concerned with why he broke, only with controlling the damage. The system that abandoned him now judges him. And in the end, Man-su becomes exactly what the system feared, not because he was dangerous, but because he was ignored. This story is not about good or evil. It is about pressure, and the terrifying truth that under enough pressure, anyone can change. What makes this story so disturbing is how familiar it feels. Yoo Man-su is not reckless. He is not greedy. He does not dream of power or revenge. He simply wants to exist without fear. And yet, the system offers him no safe path forward. Every institution he trusted fails him quietly. The company removes him without responsibility. The job market filters him out without explanation. Social connections fade without confrontation. There is no villain standing in front of him, only absence. Absence of opportunity, absence of empathy, absence of accountability. The film forces us to sit with an uncomfortable question. If society creates conditions where survival becomes ruthless, who is truly responsible for the outcome? Man-su's actions are not framed as heroic, but they are framed as human. They emerge from fear, humiliation, and exhaustion, the kind that builds slowly until rational thinking collapses under its weight. What the story reveals is not that people suddenly become immoral, but that morality is fragile when survival is threatened. Rules feel different when hunger enters the room. Values feel negotiable when dignity is stripped away. The system that taught Man-su to obey never taught him how to fall. There is no safety net for loyalty that expires. No guidance for people who followed every rule and still lost. And that is why the title matters. No other choice is not an excuse. It is an accusation. It points directly at a society that celebrates productivity but refuses responsibility. A society that demands loyalty but offers no protection. A society that is shocked when abandoned people behave unpredictably. Man-su's story is not rare. It is simply uncomfortable to acknowledge. The film does not end with resolution. It ends with reflection. It asks the audience to consider how many people are standing on the edge right now, unseen, unheard, and slowly breaking. Because the most dangerous thing is not desperation. It is silence. Silence from institutions. Silence from communities. Silence from systems that profit from obedience but disappear when obedience is no longer useful. If the story unsettles you, that is the point. It is not meant to entertain comfort. It is meant to expose reality. And the final question it leaves us with is not about Man-su at all. It is about us. If everything you trusted collapsed tomorrow, if loyalty failed you, if survival demanded more than you believed you could give, would you truly have another choice? Subscribe for more stories that reveal what society prefers not to see. This man did everything society promised would protect him. He woke up before dawn. He showed up early. He stayed late when no one was watching. For over 30 years, Yoo Man-su gave his life to one company, believing that loyalty was not just expected, but rewarded. He believed that consistency meant security and obedience meant safety. He was never ambitious. He was dependable, never loud, never difficult, never replaceable. At least, that's what he thought. Every morning followed the same rhythm, the same train, the same office hallway, the same desk that silently witnessed decades of unpaid loyalty. To his co-workers, he was reliable but invisible. To management, he was efficient. To himself, he was safe. Man-su didn't chase dreams. He chased stability. And stability, he believed, would never abandon him. But while he stood still, the world moved forward without mercy. Behind closed doors, numbers replaced names. Experience became expensive. Youth became efficient. Loyalty quietly expired. Then one ordinary morning, he was called into a meeting. The room was small. The voices were calm. The words were rehearsed. His position had been eliminated. No anger, no apology, no explanation that mattered. Just a handshake and a stack of papers. In seconds, 30 years were reduced to a signature. Man-su walked out carrying a cardboard box filled with memories no one else valued. The same building he trusted. The same system he defended. And in that moment, something inside him cracked. Because this wasn't just a job loss. It was a terrifying realization that doing everything right still wasn't enough. And once that belief dies, survival becomes something else entirely.